Good morning. How are ways that you can save money even if you're already on a budget? That's what we're going to talk about this morning on Ground Zero Minding Your Money. We'll be right back. How are ways that you can save money even being on a budget, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's interesting because our previous conversations were on how to budget, how to
Yep.
save, and is it a money jail or is it freedom? Those
Mm-hmm.
are topics that we have already talked about. So let's just say you are already on a budget and you want to try to save even more, which really allows you to have more access to instant cash and some other things. So we're just going to talk about different ways that you can save even while you're on a budget.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So let me just kind of go through some things that would help you. I'm just going to go down a bullet list of ways that you can save money while on a budget. And then we're going to bag back into them. We'll just pick a couple of them and just kind of do a deep dive. So one of the ways that you can save.
Now, Nicoletta, you about to tell them all this good information,
I
girlfriend,
know,
but you
right?
forgot to tell them who you are, girl.
I got excited.
That's okay, because this is a good topic. Look, we all need to figure out how we can save some money, right? Especially now.
Right.
And we are the queens on saving money.
Right.
So we want
I wanted
that
to
good
dive
tea
right
out,
on
right?
in. But yes, let me tell you who I am. I am Nicoletta Shannon, founder and CEO of Shannon and Associates Inc. And we specialize in financial care solutions that assist individuals on how to get financially healthy. And so that's really what we do in a nutshell. And my co-host, Anissa Wright, is going to introduce herself.
Yes, like she said, I'm Anissa Wright. I'm your favorite family finance advocate. I help families build generational wealth and get out of debt and build legacies. Listen, Nicoletta, that's an amazing question. Let's talk about how can we, save money while we're on a budget. I mean, a lot of people think it can be done. Can it be done?
It can be done. It can be done. And we're going to tell you how to do that. So one of the ways that you can save while you're on a budget is cut down on your groceries. Okay. And like I said, we're going to circle back around and talk about a few of them more in depth. Number 2, cancel automatic subscriptions and memberships. I think we can get drowned in that. It's so easy to want to do it. Buy generic medicine instead of the actual real McCoy. Cut ties with cable. There are so many different ways we can stream what we love to watch, and you don't have to have cable.
You hurting people right now, Nicoletta. You're hurting them.
Reduce energy costs. Unsubscribe from emails. Why would that be something, right? Let me just kind of put a pin right here. Emails really do tempt us. You could have emails coming from your favorite retail stores. You have emails coming from your favorite restaurants. They have amazing deals going on. They have amazing sales going on. And guess what? They are hitting your email box back to back to back to back. And one day you could click in there and think, oh my God, I need to buy me a pair of shoes. They are on sale today, 50% off. Oh, I need to run to the store. But you know,
because the sale's not gonna last always, Nicoletta.
It's not. So what do? We run out there and we buy them, right? Because it's such a temptation. Unsubscribe to the emails.
Unsubscribe. But wait, you got to go back. You can't take us through that list and we not stick a pin in each one. Wait a minute. We got to go back because you said that first when you said lower your grocery bill. Now, Nicoletta,
yes,
I have 2 teenagers and a younger child. Talk to me. Talk to me. Now you know teenagers, they like to eat. They will eat you out of house and home.
Yes, they
So
will.
how can we as parents, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, we're
Mhm.
being facetious here, but seriously,
Yes,
these
yes.
kids, they're home all day now because of COVID. They're not going back
Mm-hmm.
to school anytime soon. Well, some schools have decided to not open up right away. They've been home all
Yes,
summer. I
yes.
mean, we're hoping that they just forget to eat sometimes, but that never happens, right?
No,
So,
no.
with that extra time that they're home, and then, we might have an extra family member come over and want to eat. How do we cut that grocery bill? I mean, that's hard right now. What do you suggest?
Wow. Well, one of the ways that we can cut the grocery bill is buying in bulk. If
Mm-hmm.
you're used to going to like a Publix or a Kroger's or Whole Foods or any of those, what they would call specialty grocery stores, I need you to go find you a BJ's, a Costco's, a Sam's Club. There are so many others, I'm sure, depending on what part of the country you're in. But
Mm-hmm.
these are places that you can save. You know, those
Yeah.
items that your kids love the most, those things that they love to eat, get it in bulk. And then
Yeah.
once you get it home, you as mama or daddy, will be the ones to kind of break it down into smaller packages or snacks, spread it out over a period of time, and let them kids have fun with that. And
Yeah.
that will save you in your pocket.
Yeah, and in addition to that, that's a great point, buying in bulk.
Hmm.
And also, along with that, meal planning. And listen, a lot of people
Yeah.
say, "Well, I
Ooh,
don't,
that
I
is
don't have
excellent.
time." Yeah, I don't have time to meal
Yes.
plan. Listen, you don't have time not to meal plan, and
Right.
and, and I say that, because we're all super busy. We thought for some reason the COVID situation was going to slow our schedules down. And if you're anything like Nicavana and I, you are constantly, going, which means that
Going.
sometimes that you at the last minute need to run out to the fast food place or, go grab something. And listen, that's hard on the pocket. But if
Absolutely.
you spend one day out of the week, whether it be a Sunday, a Saturday, pick one day out of the week where you can really set aside time to just create meals that your kids are going to eat, pre-cook them, set them in the freezer, have them already cooked or crock potted or
Hmm.
whatever it is,
Hmm.
but have
Absolutely.
a plan. And especially when you go to the grocery store, have that list ready. Know what you're going to cook before you walk
Yes.
into the grocery store. Because
That's
when you
good.
don't know and you don't have a plan, guess what? You're just grabbing stuff and you end
Yes.
up not using it. It gets thrown out because it goes old. And so those are ways that money is just, flowing out of your pocket and you're wasting money.
Hmm.
Have a plan
Absolutely.
before you go to that Costco or that Sam's,
Yeah.
and that's going to save you tons of money, Nicavana.
Oh, yes, it will. That was amazing. And so you are so right. Meal planning is huge, huge, huge,
Mm-hmm.
huge. We do that in our home. We
Yeah.
do that. So I absolutely agree with that 100%. But you know
Mm-hmm.
what? We're going to take a small break and we'll be right back. And we're going to dive right back into how can you save more money while you're on a budget. We'll be right back.
Absolutely.
All right. You know what? We were talking about how do you save with groceries, right? We know that that's something that we need and it's
Mm-hmm.
absolutely got to be a part of our budget. And some of the things that we were mentioning was buying in bulk or meal planning, which
Yeah.
really streamlines your grocery list. When you go to the grocery store, you
Mm-hmm.
can really plan out how much you're actually going to spend because you know what you're going to cook that week or the next 2 weeks. So I think
Absolutely.
that is amazing.
And you know what, Nicobot, I think we should do? We should give our viewers a gift. If they join the Ground Zero
Yes,
tribe, then we're going to put,
yes.
when you join, we're going to have a list of meal planning
Oh, that would
plans
be
for you
great.
available. And you can go there because you're like, I don't even know where to start with meal planning. Well,
Hmm.
join the GZ tribe, and we're going to have a list of resources available for you so that you can quickly come up with easy meal plans to have ready for your family so you can save some money.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's excellent. We'll definitely have that available to you in our private group, GZ
Mm-hmm.
Tribe group. Absolutely. You know what? One of the other ways that we could save in groceries is price matching. Now,
Yes.
this is some, look, I'm guilty as charged. I am not a coupon person.
Mm.
And I know, it takes a lot of meticulous, like really looking to make sure that it's a sale. But I have amazing friends that do that and they save a lot of money. So
Yes.
I know with price matching, that is absolutely a way to cut down on your costs.
Mm-hmm. And if
Yeah.
you can't do it yourself, like you said, your friends can. So, see if there's a way that you can network with those friends. I mean, it seems like everybody has at least one of those in their circles. It used to be me. I would be in the store aisles with my big old binder, and I had all these, pages full of note. Girl, people would be laughing at me, but
Right, right.
it did
But
save a lot
look,
of
you
money.
were
But
saving that money though. I,
okay,
I'm
okay.
not mad.
But everybody has at least one of those in their circle somewhere, 6 degrees of separation. See about
Yes,
networking with them and figure out ways that you can work with them to help you save money, help you to get those coupons that you need, or at least teach you how to do some basic couponing. And you will find that that's a great resource, Nicovana, to help you save money. That's a great suggestion.
I agree. I agree. Let's jump into another thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about utilities. That's
Yes.
another thing we can't live without, especially in
Mm-mm.
this day and time. With all the technology that we use and everything is tied to something. Something is linked to something. So,
Yep.
how do you save in your utilities? Well, let's just start with negotiating new rates.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You can definitely negotiate your rates on your electricity bill, gas bill, and I'm sure water bill. I'm sure there are other ways that you can do that in regards to negotiation, but that is definitely a way to save money on
Mm-hmm.
with your utilities.
Absolutely. And a lot of utility companies have a program, neighbor to neighbor program, where they're asking for donations for those people that can't afford to pay their utilities. And especially right now, because a lot of people, again, are, challenged by the climate that we're in. And so if you can't meet the need of paying that electricity bill or that gas bill, or contact your utility provider and say, listen, do you have a program for those who are struggling to
That's
pay? And you
good.
would be surprised what the type of programs are available for people who are struggling right now.
Absolutely. That's amazing. That's a great way to sew back into your community. Great way to
Yeah.
love on somebody that you don't know, that you don't even know if they're struggling or not. But because the company has put that there, you are blessing someone. So that's
Yep.
amazing. I love that. That's a great idea.
Hmm.
Absolutely. How about unplugging your electronics?
Yes. Big time. Yes. Unplug them. Most people say, well, it's not on. Yeah, it's still pulling electricity from your outlet. Definitely keep those appliances unplugged if you can, for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know what? When it comes to sealing off drafts,
Yes. Yes. Nick, okay, now you talk. Why are you telling everybody my business, Nick?
look,
You're not supposed to be
look,
putting me
let's
out there
talk
like that.
about it. We're trying to put money back in our people's pockets, so
You
let's
sure
do
right.
it.
You are sure right. That is absolutely right. I can't tell you how many cracks and crevices
Right.
around the doors, and you're right. We need to be taking it. It seems like a little thing, but you would be surprised how big or how much money can be saved by just being more energy efficient with your home.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what? Even changing your light bulbs
Yep,
to
yep.
LED lighting
LED lights. Mm-hmm.
saves you on money in the long run.
Yep.
Making sure that you're changing your vent, your I forget what they call them, the little vent thing that you put in your vent, your
Mm-hmm.
air.
For your air ducts. Uh-huh.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Changing that on a regular will help you on your utility bills as well. So yeah, yeah. You know what? Using a programmable thermostat.
Yes, it's called smart homes, one of those smart thermostats. You know, my husband was in that industry for a long time. And when I tell you, every one of our thermostats, we have two. I say everyone. It seems like we have
Right,
1,000.
right.
The two that we have are smart thermostats. And listen, I didn't know how to control them for the first 2 years. I don't know, but
Mhm.
they do. They help you save because they control and monitor the climate in the home, so they know when to turn that air up, when to turn it down. You can program it. You're absolutely right, Nikavana. Do you have one too?
Actually, we don't. We don't. You know, our house is about 20 years old, so it is not a smart house. You know, so
Mm-hmm.
no, we do not have it. But we try to. You know, they before we had programmable thermostats. Basically, we would just keep it at a certain temperature in the
Yeah.
house, and
Right.
that would help
Mm-hmm.
as well. So that's what we do.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So I got one more. Uh,
Okay.
eliminate landline phones.
Ooh, that's a tough. Okay. Yes. I, okay. Yes, you're right. Because you remember when a landline cost $12 or something? I mean, it was
I
ridiculously cheap.
remember. I
Now they're
remember.
like what, $50 or more? I mean, they are
It's
super
crazy
expensive.
just for a
Probably more than
minimum.
that.
Hmm. Hmm.
It is crazy. But
Yes.
I always say, that's a hard one because especially if you have teenagers that are staying at home by themselves, but you don't want them at home with their cell phones. They
Right.
need to be able to call some way. So, that's a good point though. Do you have a landline or do you have maybe an Alexa? Because you can make phone calls with Alexas or
Hmm.
Hey Googles and things of that nature. So yeah, look into the alternatives of having a landline versus an alternative line that you could use that may be a little bit less expensive. That's a great one, Nikabana.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, you know what? We are going to go to a break. And when we come back, we're going to jump into some more tips on how to save even when you're on a budget. We'll be right back. All right. Well, you know what? Let's talk about activities and entertainment.
Mm, my favorite.
Yeah, right. So we both have kids, and they we got to entertain them. You know, we just
Yes.
can't like put them in in a chair and just sit there. You know, they're going to want to do stuff
Right.
and enjoy, even in the pandemic, even in
That's
the
right.
crisis that we're in right now. We still have to entertain our family. So, what are some ways that you entertain your family on a budget and really be able to penny pinch at the same time?
For me, you know what? It's wonderful having good friends, especially good friends that are quarantining like you are and staying safe, and they have a pool.
Oh,
So, yeah,
yes.
we don't have a pool. We don't have the expense of a pool, but I know friends that do. And
Hmm.
so,
Hmm.
listen, we're taking a staycation at my friend's pool. And so, I mean, you know, not saying, we're using our friends, because, there are things that we
No, of
have that
course
they don't. And
not.
but
Absolutely.
listen, we partner together and we find ways within our community in order to serve each other. And so that's one of the things that we do. We go to their pool and swim and take a picnic if we want to. And we're not, paying for thousands of dollars to go on an expensive trip, but it's still something nice to be able to get away from home and to enjoy the outdoors, without having to spend a lot of money. Listen, even going to the park and taking a picnic in a huge state park that's local, we've done that as well. Just enjoying nature, being out and not having to be worried about being close and surrounded by people during this climate has been such a wonderful experience. The kids have loved it. So, there are ways to enjoy the local amenities without having to spend so much money on trying to take a fancy trip or do something, expensive with the entertaining budget.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know what? Definitely great, great tips. I know all of us have done that from time to time, and it's great to call it a staycation because that's exactly what it is. You're making the best out of what you got going on.
Right, right.
So that is awesome. What about internet-based movie services? I think
Mm,
that's a great way that you can actually be able to entertain your family on a budget.
yep, absolutely, absolutely. And one of the ways that we do it too is, there's a lot of free services, but you got to be careful because some of them may not be legal. So you want to make sure that you stay legal, making sure that there's licensing, that you're not doing anything that you're not supposed to be doing. But Roku is absolutely great because
Mhm,
Roku has so many different free channels, that you can access, and it's so cheap and inexpensive.
mhm.
There are a lot of apps when you get the Fire TV. There are a lot of apps on there that you don't have to pay for that have great programming. Now, they may not have the latest movies, but
Right,
there's still
right.
great movies that you can even watch with your kids, and it's super inexpensive. So, listen, there are ways to get around that whole, paying for the cable thing. Right now is not the time to be so focused on the latest and greatest movies that are coming out.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
paying for one here and there is not so bad, but to pay for
Right.
an ongoing cable service when you're trying to, save for that emergency fund, or you're trying to pay off
Mhm,
that debt,
mhm.
a Roku and Fire TV are great alternatives with free apps.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that. Okay, so what about group deals? I know that is another way that you can save. I know there's an app or a site that you can go to called Groupons, and there's
Mm-hmm.
probably sister sites that are similar to that. That's a great way to get something that may even be, what you would call a collector's item or something at the top of your I want to do list, but
Right.
because you can get it on Groupons or another sister type of site, that's a great way to do what you want to do at a lesser cost too.
Absolutely. And a lot of people are shopping by the internet. And one of the ways that people are finding that they can save when they do shop online is by using, the Honey app on your browser, or the
Mhm.
WikiBuy. And what that does is, as you're shopping, it pulls up coupons for whatever you're purchasing and allows you to,
Wow.
take money off, or it allows you to collect points to be used, for other things. So that's a awesome, it's in a, see, don't get me to say the wrong word.
That's
It's an
okay.
addition to your browser that you add.
Absolutely.
But
Uh-huh.
as you're searching, and you go to purchase something, it'll pull up where you can either buy it for cheaper, or to give you a coupon, or some way to save when you're making those types of purchases. So those are great ways to shop online and save money.
Wow, that's amazing. See, I didn't even know that. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yep.
awesome. Awesome. Awesome tips. Thank you for sharing that, Anissa. That's great. That's
Mm-hmm.
great. Well, you know what? We're going to close this out with cars and transportation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, some of the ways that you can save, even though you need a car, in some areas you may have good transportation, which is great. In my city, not so great. So, you do need to have a reliable car to get you where you need to go.
Right, right.
So, one of the ways that you can actually save in this area is to shop around for car insurance.
Yes, yes. I,
So,
you know,
what are your thoughts on that?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No, you're
yes, 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 yes. I tell my clients that all the time. One of the ways, because they say, well, well, maybe I can't afford to make that investment right now, or maybe I can't afford to buy that insurance right now. Listen, when's the last time you shopped for car insurance? Because insurers love it when you don't shop around, because you have been with that insurance provider for the last 10 years. That you don't know that your rates have gone up and up and up every single year, and that the other provider is now, some other provider can give you much more coverage for less,
Hmm.
because you've been with the same carrier for the last 10 years. You think you're getting a great deal because you've been such a loyal
Which is
customer.
true. Not so
Yeah,
much, right?
not so much. Definitely shop around, because you could save anywhere between $100 to $500 a year. And what could you do with that extra money?
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of money you can
That
be
is
putting
a lot
aside into a Roth IRA, or
of.
into your emergency fund. So definitely shop around for that car insurance. That's a great point, Nick Ivana.
Wow, wow. Okay. Well, you know what? The last thing that I'm going to talk about in regards to saving would be consolidating your trips. So
Mm,
when you go out the house and you are needing to, run out and do one thing, why don't you just kind of come up with a plan so when you actually leave the house, you can do five things while you're out. So when you come back, you're actually at home more instead of going out and doing one thing and then coming back and then going out and doing two things and then coming back and then going out and doing one thing and coming back. Whereas that uses up gas, right?
mm-hmm.
That
Yep.
puts miles on your tires and everything else that you have. And you're actually spending more money.
Yep.
So why not plan when you're getting ready to go out and take care of multiple things at one time and then you're back at home?
Absolutely. That's a great point. And that goes back to what you were talking about, bulk buying. When you buy in bulk, you don't have to go back to the grocery store so often, which prevents you from having to spend so much. It's the same thing when you get
Yes.
into your car. The less you have to get in your car and go somewhere, the
Mhm.
less you'll find yourself spending money. They go hand in hand. So when you look at your week, take a look at what you have to get done for the week and figure out, okay, what's the best logistical way to get everything that I need to get done, so that I'm not making multiple trips when I don't need to.
Yes, that is awesome. Well, you know what? I think we have shared a lot of great insight to how you can actually save more while you are on a budget. These are just ways that you can really try to put extra cash in your pocket, one, to do those things that you want and to save for the future. So I definitely thank you for joining us this morning. And if you want to leave us a comment, please feel free to email us. We do want you to be a part of our private group, the GZ Tribe. We definitely go into more detail about all things money. And this is just a great way for us to get to know you and continue to build a community with you. And like you said, when you become a part of the GC Tribe, GZ Tribe, I'm going to get it right.
It's early, girl. It's early in the morning.
Yes, it is. We are also going to share with you some money plan tips and some other things that will help you with saving more money. So I'm
Absolutely.
going to pass it off to my amazing co-host, Anissa Wright, and I'm going to see you next week.
All right, all right. She said it. There it is. We're going to have some amazing things for you in the Facebook group. Be sure to join. You're going to catch that meal planning tool resources, money planning resources. So definitely don't miss out on that. And we look forward to seeing you every Monday morning at 5:30 a.m. And we'll see you next week. Take care, guys. Bye
All
bye.
right. Bye bye.